I research the Heritage Foundation. Hello, everyone, and my name is Eva Henry. The Heritage Foundation was formed in 1973. That's a year after I was born, in the middle of huge changes in America in the late 60s and early 70s. The 60s saw changes like the Civil Rights and Voting Rights Acts, and not everyone was happy about the federal government stepping in. The Vietnam War also caused a lot of protest and division in the country. Many people were fed up with the government and wanted a return to traditional values and a stronger national defense. Also, the counterculture movement was in full swing, with people rejecting traditional norms and embracing new lifestyles. So we get issues like drug use, sexual liberation, and the rise of feminism. Also, the gay rights movement made some folks feel like traditional American values were under threat. The political scene was changing, and according to some, the Democratic Party was moving further left on many issues. Events like these created an opening for conservative voices to organize and push back against what they considered liberal overreach. And so the Heritage Foundation was born. The Heritage Foundation is a conservative organization, make no doubt about it, whose mission is to support free enterprise, limited government, individual freedom, traditional American values, and a strong national defense. They put out reports and tools on economic policy, national security, education, and even healthcare. They also have programs to get young conservatives involved, like internships and the Heritage Academy. They believe that they are a major player in shaping conservative policies and ideas in America. The Heritage Foundation is based in Washington, D.C., and they're considered to be a think tank, which means they do a lot of research and give advice on different policy issues. Think tanks help shape public policy with their research and ideas. They get their money from donations, and that comes from people, foundations, and companies. But interestingly enough, they do not take government money, which helps them stay independent. The money they raise supports all their research, their publications, and their programs. While, of course, they focus on educational policy, the Heritage Foundation has a big mission. They cover a lot of ground from economic policies to national security. Some hot topic items you might be familiar with are freedom of religion, free and fair elections, and securing America's borders. The Heritage Foundation does play a role in shaping educational policy. For example, they weigh in heavily on topics such as critical race theory, parental rights in education, and school choice options for parents that allow them to pick the best schools for their kids. They put out research reports, policy analysis, opinion pieces, all from their conservative viewpoint. And they also make tools like the Educational Freedom Report Card, which grades states on their educational policies. You should check it out. When it comes to data and research, they mostly use existing data, but they also do some of their own research. Their reports often include their original data that they've collected. For instance, their school choice and educational outcomes reports feature data from various school districts and states that they've compiled. Now, if you ask me if they are credible, I suppose, especially in conservative circles, they have a lot of influence on public policy. But because they have this strong ideological stance and it's very biased, it would be best advised to balance their materials with other research projects if you're going to use them in your research. It's also important to note that the Heritage Foundation is not without its fair share of controversy, and understanding those issues will be important when citing this organization as a credible source. What controversy, you may ask? Well, one of the more recent issues involved Project 2025, an ambitious plan to overhaul the federal government if a Republican won the presidency. This initiative stirred up quite a bit of backlash particularly from Donald Trump's campaign, leading to the resignation of the project's director. Also, in 2021, the Heritage Action, an affiliate of the foundation, found itself under an ethics probe for allegedly violating the lobbying rules. This was tied to their involvement in drafting voter suppression laws, which sparked significant debate and criticism. And the foundation's stance on the LGBTQ plus rights has also been a huge source of controversy. Hmm. I do hope you enjoyed my presentation on the Heritage Foundation and that you may learn a little bit more than you knew before. But to find out more, you can visit their website at www.heritage.org. Thank you.